Hello folks, welcome to my channel, The Marketingpedia, your one-stop solution to a hassle-free learning of effective marketing concepts. Many of us are blaming IPL for India's poor performance in the T20 World Cup and for the cancellation of 5th England vs India Test match. The fans have accused that players and the board are prioritizing money-minting cricket league over international tournaments. Well, this video is not a vent out on India's back-to-back losses, neither it will discuss any controversial theories around IPL, but this will focus around the intricate business behind IPL. We will cover the entire IPL understanding in two parts. In part 1, I will explain the business and revenue model of IPL, and in part 2, we will understand why IPL is more about business and less about winning, through some team-specific case studies on how data drives the key decision-making in IPL. For those of you who don't know what IPL is, it is a cricket league played between 8 regional teams in India based upon a round-robin group and knockout format. It is inspired by various football leagues played and cherished in the United States. Although the team names are based upon Indian cities, the players are included from around the world. It is the most attended cricket league in the world and was ranked 6th by average attendance among all sports leagues in 2014. Anyone following IPL 2021 will know that the tournament that started in March this year was suspended indefinitely after a rise in COVID-19 cases. At the time of suspension, 31 of the scheduled 60 matches were still left to be played. However, in May, BCCI announced that the remaining matches of the tournament would be played in UAE in September and October 2021. Even though limited stadium seating following COVID guidelines was available in the later half, the first phase of IPL was played without any live audience. Isn't that strange for any sports league? Well, there might be many unanswered questions for many of us. Why would a game be organized without any ticket sales? Why would the second phase of a game be played in a foreign land during COVID when we have so many travel restrictions? The answer to this question lies in uncovering the lucrative business model of IPL. Starting from scratch, for any business model to work, we need incoming cash flows. IPL's model has many layers. For simplicity, we will understand in 3 fundamental layers. Number 1. Cash flow streams for BCCI. BCCI stands for Board Cricket Control of India, a private entity and a cricket controlling body in India. It is also a legal owner of the IPL. Now, with respect to IPL, BCCI has 3 major streams of revenue: sponsorships, broadcasting rights, and franchisee ownerships. Coming back to sponsorships, a sponsor is any individual or organization who wants to advertise themselves in the league, as their names are mentioned, announced, pictured, and even talked about in the commentary. The IPL earns approximately 700 crore Indian rupees per year through these sponsorships. We have many such sponsors here. For example, title sponsor, which means sponsorship for putting their name in front of the title, such as Dream 11 IPL, Vivo IPL, Pepsi IPL, or DLF IPL. Another form of sponsorship is associate sponsors. An associate sponsor is a person, firm, or corporation which is engaged in a business related to the wheat or biomass industry, or is interested in the advancement of that industry, such as Polycab, Kamla Pasand, Asian Paints, ITC, Coca-Cola. Then comes umpire partners, such as Paytm, which means that umpire's jersey will have Paytm printed on it. Before the 2019 season, BCCI signed a 28 crores deal with Paytm and roped in as its umpire's sponsor for the next 5 seasons. Yet another example of sponsorships is official strategic timeout partner, such as CEAT. From 2015, CEAT has been the official timeout partner of IPL. CEAT renewed its deal in 2018 for 28 crores INR and will be the official timeout partner of IPL until 2023 season. Mind you, it is not easy to get into the game of sponsorships, even with lots of money. Another revenue stream is broadcasting rights. The right to record and telecast the match live or its highlights or its official videos anywhere on the internet remains with the broadcaster. The broadcasters like Star Sports and Sony Sports pay in exorbitant sums to BCCI to acquire these rights. Star Sports currently holds the broadcasting rights for 5 years by paying 16,347 crore rupees to BCCI. Finally, BCCI earns a major chunk through franchisee ownerships. When the IPL started in 2008, the teams were auctioned to various corporates who bought the same for huge amounts by bidding in the auction. 8 teams were auctioned, and at the end of the bidding process, BCCI sold the teams for a total of approximately 3,200 crores INR. For sponsors and broadcasters, the revenue streams are pretty straightforward through advertisements and viewership. Imagine a brand gets an opportunity to reach a diverse set of viewers, rich and poor, young and old, together, and to tap into their emotional moments, forming a deep connection given their love for cricket and Bollywood. Now let's try to understand the revenue streams for franchisee owners, as they pay almost 400 crores each to own the franchisee of a team. And even when their team wins the league, the prize money is only about 20 crores. The math doesn't add up, right? So what are the revenue sources for them? Well, there are multiple streams of revenue for them, starting from central sponsorship revenue. One half of the sponsorship revenue generated by BCCI through various title sponsorship and other sponsors is shared with the team owners in equal ratio. This forms a fixed source of revenue for the teams. Next comes the broadcasting rights. The broadcasting revenue that the BCCI earns is also shared with the teams. However, this share depends on the ranking of the team, as the higher ranked team gets higher viewership during the matches. Then there are team sponsors. The sponsorship of jerseys are a major source of revenue. Over years, the number of logos on jerseys has increased as the sponsors have become creative. Official partnerships, advertisements by players, and in various other ways, the team owners generate sponsorship revenue of their own. This revenue varies from team to team based upon their popularity, as advertisers prefer popular teams for marketing. Next in line are ticket sales and ground advertisement. The revenue generated from the sale of tickets in stadiums goes to the home team owners. Around 80% of the tickets are held by the team owners who get the proceeds of the same. Besides, a share of sponsorship revenue from the boundary lines, banners, and other areas of the stadiums also go to the home team. Finally, a portion comes from the stall rentals and merchandise sales. The food and beverage stalls that serve the spectators are given on contract basis to various contracting companies. The revenue generated from the stall rentals is retained by the home team. Teams release official t-shirts, caps, watches, and various other products ultimately bought by the fans, forming a stream of revenue for the IPL franchisees. Now that we know how BCCI and franchisee owners make money, some of us might be wondering on what about the players? Well, players get paid according to their market demand and often end up getting paid much higher than they would have earned over the year through the other forms of cricket. Many cricketers are now opting to play league cricket alone instead of international or domestic cricket. The best part is that the players get paid irrespective of whether they play a match or not. They just have to show up free of injury or other commitments. It's a fixed salary. With some good performances in the league, a player can also gain popularity and bag advertising contracts. Well, before I end this video, I wanted to let you know that even though the video was specifically focused on IPL revenue streams, these revenue streams generalize to any league sports played anywhere around the world, be it NFL in US or Kabaddi League in India. However, the viewership and revenue range can differ with passion and love for the sports in the country. Finally, I hope you understand why IPL is so much driven by data. Even though we all love IPL for the game played on the ground, leagues such as these thrive on the game outside the ground. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share to show your support. Also, if you want me to cover the analytics behind specific team, please comment below. Stay tuned for part 2. See you in the next video and don't forget to press the bell icon.